Alright YouTube, so it has been a super long week, but it's midway through and I'm trying to fight a little bit of rain and the fact that I'm just one man trying to dump all these dumpsters and get them all out. But I'm actually going to take it and have a pretty good weekend, I hope. We're actually about to go head out and we're going to go race some go-karts. We don't expect there to be a huge turnout because we're going to a big track racing some smaller, what they're called L206 motors on a bigger track, so they don't get a lot of people out there, but they're a lot of fun. It'll be one of the first times we get to get in the seat for the year, so we're looking forward to it. But the funny thing is, all the equipment that I have, all the the truck, the trailers, nobody in my family, at least my immediate family here in town, has a enclosed trailer, race trailer, I guess you could call it. So we're gonna improvise a little bit, and I'll show you how. So you might recognize this, but I actually picked this container up a couple months back and I moved it for this guy. He paid me to move it from his house to a shop where he was going to store it for a while. The funny thing is, my buddy then found out that the guy put it up for sale, wanted to buy it, so now I'm getting paid to move it again. But I'm good friends with the guy who is buying it, so he's going to let me use it for the weekend because all of my storage units are actually rented out. So we're going a little redneck here. Hopefully there's somebody here that can move some equipment, because we're going to load that shipping container onto the back of this flatbed. And that's going to be my race trailer for the weekend. And my camper. So we'll see. So when we load these, you only actually get about 3/4 of an inch probably. You'll notice I broke it last time I was loading one. We only get about 3/4 of an inch between this side and this rail that was custom built here on this flatbed, because I mean, we're gonna winch it right onto there. But if you've never seen the inside of these things, pretty interesting. A lot of people don't realize they actually have wood floors. This one's in pretty good shape. These things have like tripled in price from what they were a couple years ago, but the doors work pretty well, which is always handy. So you just open them like that, just like with a trailer door, and yeah, that's all there is to it. It at least seems to be pretty watertight. I see a little bit of drippage from something over here, but I don't actually see a whole way to check is actually to close the door in on yourself and see if you see any peepholes coming through. But overall, it smells a little funky. It'll be fun to sleep in, but I've been in worse. So you can watch videos of me more detailed loading these things. I might get a quick clip here, but I'm not gonna have 15 minutes of me loading it onto the trailer. But we're gonna get this thing over here and get out of the way of this construction crew, because they come in with a piece of equipment. I don't want to be holding them up. So let's get to it. wasn't fun. I didn't videotape all of it. Like I said, you can always watch how I load those. That was supposed to be easier because I wasn't going to actually use the winch that much. But then I was like, oh, you know, I'll use the winch at the end to kind of just pull it in past the shoe with a block of wood. I've done it a dozen times that way. But I've been having problems with this winch. It's a Harbor Freight winch, which is nothing against it. They're not the best quality. And I've used them before. The problem is the guy who owned this trailer before me has like 40 feet of cable on a 24-foot bed, or 22-foot bed, whatever this is, and it's just too much, and it just gets wound up and bound up. And he also, when he wired the battery pack, he didn't wire it directly to the trailer, so it will just die after it's been overworked too hard. And I overworked it too hard simply by trying to wind it back up correctly. So yeah, we busted it. I got the container about 98% of the way on. It's not all the way to, it didn't get past the shoe. I'll probably hook up some jumpers to it and get the winch to pull it in the rest of the way, just so we can get it to the darn track. And then I need to get that thing directly wired to the truck, because that's just unacceptable. I need it to be able to charge itself and operate on its own without me having to always worry about it. Someone really doesn't want us racing this weekend, I'll tell you that. Rain, trailer trouble, cart trouble. Man, my uncle was grinding through a cart. We got a hodgepodge of a cart together, and we pulled it together with miscellaneous parts from 2 wrecked carts. So this cart right here is just stripped to the bone. Only a couple pieces left to really salvage from it. And we pulled it all together on this cart at the absolute last second. So this is my uncle's rig that he's gonna ride around in this weekend. It's never been on the track. It was a used frame, so we are just brand new motor, all built up, so that'll be fun. This one over here, almost same body for the most part. That's my dad's. My brother's isn't sitting here. That's mine, least amount of work. I got tired of messing with all the used carts. I finally went and bought one because that thing right there, I didn't say very many nice things about this cart, but it was all tweaked up. The frame was bent, and every time I drove it, I felt like I was fighting it. And until I drove one of their carts, I never really knew the difference. Then once I drove that cart, I knew. I was like, something's wrong. We call this the Fat Man Shield. These are legal now, so they provide way more aerodynamics than that tiny little thing up there. But the funny thing is, I love these carts because they're not like the fastest things. We've driven much faster, but you race very close to each other. So you really, and you can't really modify these motors that much. So it really comes down to driver ability. And when you get into an aerodynamic path, the motors actually make a different noise. They start to bog, and you know that you're in that, airstream, and it's a lot of fun. All right, guys. So it's almost the middle of the night. We got this thing filled. It's hard to tell. There's 4 carts in here, toolboxes, coolers, beer, everything a man needs to go racing. So we're gonna get this out of the way. We already had a beta male across the street tell us that he's tired of looking at this container. It's been here about 8 hours, so sorry to him. So we're gonna get this out of the way so he doesn't complain. We're gonna get on the road to racing. Finally made it to the track. Wet day.
How's qualifying going to work for the only one to qualify. No.
And just like that, day one is done. It was a lot of fun. We didn't go that fast. We broke some things. We have some things to finish for tomorrow. Make sure that it's done so we can be quick and just have fun. Get to run, me and my brother, and then my dad and his brother. It's just a good old time. So, see what happens tomorrow.
Red box, CIK plastic, even all around
there. Day two is here. We're all registered. Good weather yet again for the second day. We're just here to have fun, boys and girls, but my uncle's here, so we're gonna have 4 carts in our race, just from, you know, our little crew of guys. And then I think we might have 5 or 6 that are in our class that are also joining. And then we'll be running with other guys, probably up to about 40 that are in different classes on the track at the same time. So be fun, big track to do these types of carts on, but ready to go. Zonk. Alright guys, the redneck trailer worked out just fine. As you can tell, I'm already back to reality. We've got the dumpster trailer hooked up, but the redneck trailer worked. I mean, we ended up sleeping in it. You can see we had the hammocks. We worked as perfect little shelter. I passed out in it just fine. My dad said that he was in a state of consciousness the whole night. Caleb had no trouble sleeping, as you can see. He can do that anywhere. But it was a good old time. We got to, you know, go around the track. You know, we're not crazy fast. We're just kind of there having fun. We're still kind of figuring out these style carts, but it's just a nice little hobby for us. We kind of grew up watching our uncle race, and he grew up watching his uncle race. So it's kind of, and our dad. So it's just kind of cool to all get to do it together now. So it was a good old time. Trailer isn't always fun to load when your equipment isn't cooperating, but otherwise they work really well. I mean, especially when you got 4 carts and parts and tools and everything else. I mean, we're actually going to build out one of those containers to essentially have our tool chest in it, like mounted, and have our go-karts just sitting there. So when we're ready to go, we just pick it up and leave. So that would be very ideal. Outside of that, it was just a good weekend. We had a lot of fun. Nobody had any major incidents in our crew. Everybody's carts came back mostly intact. Just a couple of fixes here and there. We unfortunately did watch some guys right in front of us getting a major accident. Three cart pileup. You know, driving over top of each other at incredible speed in those shifter carts. Those things are fun, but very dangerous, and we witnessed it firsthand. We had to jump the fence onto the track, stop traffic, wait for the ambulance to show up. One kid was pretty banged up, but luckily by the time everybody got, you know, the paramedics got his helmet off and rolled him over, he moved his legs a little bit, and that's all anybody on the track wanted to see, was his kid to move. And he did. So everybody, you know, put him in your thoughts, I guess, or prayers, or whatever you do. But he I'm just happy it wasn't one of us, but at the same time, you don't like to see that happen to anybody. So hopefully we get to see him come back the next year we're out there. Like I said, we're out there just to have fun. We're not breaking records or setting any speed challenges, but you know, this is a nice warm-up track to start the year with, and we'll be at a couple more this year, and it's just our hobby. So everybody's got their thing. I hope you guys like the, you know, little clips and drone footage. Couldn't get the GoPro to work this week, but like, subscribe, and hopefully follow for some more content. I'll catch you on the next video. Thanks, y'all. Keep grinding.